Guys, this is Astranox. This is gonna be a guide, a review for Ruele of Light. So this is my second account. I have her, and the way she's built, well, her stats are definitely not where I want them to be, but I'll go over her skill multipliers. I'll go over her stats. I'll talk about skill up priority, what kind of gear, what kind of builds you can be running on her. So for gear, you got artifacts, which sets, the main stats on the right side, the stat priority, best setups, and where does she shine in the game. So let me just show you how she's geared on this account. It's definitely not optimal, but I just slapped whatever gear I was able to get. Like you can see, I have a ton of gold, I have a lot of crafting materials. I'll be working on crafting much better gear for her. So yeah, that's the way I have her skilled up for now. And these are her stats, but I definitely want much more effect resistance than that. Of course, like higher speed, higher HP, higher defense. Like we always need better, like more stats. So let me jump on to the journal, and I'll go over everything. So her skill multipliers, they are, I mean, they're really good and very hard hero to obtain. If you do have her, congratulations, she is definitely amazing, and I'll talk about where she shines in the game. So her skill 1, there's two ways this can function. It's either you use it normally or you soul burn it. Now when you use it normally, it will only heal for 7% of the ally's max HP, and this heals the ally with the lowest HP. But when you soul burn this thing, it actually scales with the caster's max HP. So yeah, it's 35% of her max HP, which is a huge amount. It's the same as Destina's. So it says attacks the enemy with a staff and heals the ally with the lowest HP. Damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's max HP. We don't care about that because, I mean, it's definitely not much. It's only 143% multiplier for the damage, if you want to know. On skill 2, now this skill is so powerful. 3-turn cooldown only, and the beautiful thing is that it actually dispels all debuffs. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's all debuffs. And then it heals, and then it applies a barrier. So the strength of the barrier is proportional to the caster's max HP, and as well as the healing. So this skill, the multipliers on that, it's 35% of the caster's max HP. So yeah, it's a huge amount of healing, and the barrier scales based on 20% of her max HP, of Ruel's max HP. So I mean, if you hit that thing on, it could be a squishy, it could be a bruiser, it could be herself. No matter, like it's definitely gonna heal for a ton plus the barrier. It's like the combination of both is extremely powerful. I mean, together it's 55% of her max HP. Now the cool thing is that, like, they might not be, like, let's say out of the 35% healing, you're actually healing them for like 20%, 25%, whatever. At least you're getting a barrier. Like, there's not like a bunch of overhealing going on the target. So that's really cool. And that's another buff you're getting, like, that the enemy might, like, if they're trying to remove a buff off of you, well, that's another one. They have to go through the RNG, the randomness of the game. So skill 3, now that skill is insane. 4-turn cooldown after skill ups. It revives one dead ally with healing magic, recovering all of their HP and granting them invincibility for 1 turn. Now the beautiful thing is that when they come back to life, they are resuming with how much combat readiness they had previously when they died. So that is huge, and they have invincibility. So in a lot of cases, what happens is that you don't even have time. Like, let's say you are the enemy, you're fighting a Ruele on, so they have a Ruele on their defense, and you might not have time to react. You don't have time to remove this invincibility, and they're going. Like, that hero is going, and it might be a squishy, like a really high threat hero with whatever it might be, like some crazy damage, maybe some ability that will shut down your team or something of the sort, and you just can't do anything about it in most cases, because like these things happen very quickly. So this thing, yeah, it will resurrect, and it will fully heal the ally and then apply invincibility. So that's huge. Now if this thing is used on an ally that is alive, what happens is that it actually clears all debuff on that ally and then heal them and then apply invincibility for 1 turn. Now the way this works with the AI is, it seems to be like she will not use skill 2 unless the ally has less than 75% HP, something of the sort. And skill 3, like she will not use this thing unless there's an ally with like 50% HP or less. So like if there's an ally that's dead, she's gonna use it on that ally. But if they like one drops below 50%, she's gonna use that thing on the lowest HP, whoever's the lowest below 50%. And you've got full debuff clear on 3 and on 2 short cooldown. 4 turn cooldown is actually quite short as well on that. So okay, so that's her skills. That's the multipliers that she has. Now for her stats, because I did take quite a bit of time to go over all this, but yeah. Okay, so her attack, we don't care about that. It's really low. Her HP, it's not that high, but the defense is really high. Now the speed is, I mean, Soul Weavers, they have low speed, but it's all right. It's pretty good for compared to other Soul Weavers. And yeah, now let's talk about skill up priorities. I'll go back to like stats, how you should gear her and all that, how you should build her. But for skill up priority, you want to get this thing maxed out. You want to lower this to 4 turn cooldown ASAP. That's your top priority. And then I would work on skill 2. Like I brought mine to like +5, and then I decided to bring this one to +2. Because I mean, yeah, the healing increase on that one, I mean, it's not healing for much, but if you do soul burn, it's gonna help quite a bit, you know. But in most cases, skill 3 top priority, and then you work on skill 2. You could even max skill 2 before you even bother with this one. Maybe you don't even skill that one up, but since it's so cheap, you might as well bring it to +2, and later down the line, and when you got 2 maxed out, of course after 3, you will bring that to +4. After that, of course, you don't skill it up further than that. Okay, so for gearing her artifacts, you've got, yeah, there's quite a bit of artifacts for Soul Weavers. There's a lot of very strong ones, but here's how I would build her. Since she might be like the top priority for the enemy team to kill her like ASAP, she will be taking a lot of damage. So what can you do to reduce that damage? Well, you could wear Water's Origin. So let me just show you. So Water's Origin, so if you lose more than 20% of your HP, you recover 8% of your HP, and increase combattiveness between 15% and 20%. If the artifact is +15, it's going to be 15, and if it's maxed out, it's 20%. Now, not only you are recovering HP back, so you're mitigating damage that way. You got some sustain, automatic sustain on this artifact, and it's not. There's no limit on that. It can trigger multiple times before you actually go. So that's a major plus. And the closer to 20, like let's say they're very close to 20%. Let's say they're hitting you between like 20% of your HP to like 30% of your HP. Like if the amount is, the closer it is to 20%, the more you I mean, you're gaining, the more beneficial this artifact is, on top of giving you a bunch of combat readiness so you can cycle your skills faster. So this is a very strong artifact, only a 4-star, so a strong contender for her. Now, if let's say you know you're gonna be taking some crazy single target damage, and that 20%, like you're gonna be chunked for like 50%, 70% of your HP. I mean, you might as well go with a Proof of Valor at that point. I mean, just like to lower the amount of damage that you're taking by those like massive hit, might as well just go with this artifact so she can stay alive and she can do something about it. She can S2 herself, or maybe there's already an ally dead or multiple of them, but at that point, I mean, she would be alive and use her skill 3 to revive and yeah, fully top off their HP and then give them invincibility. So yeah, I would say that I'm wearing Water's Origin. It's working quite well, but I need to do some more testing. I would say that Water's Origin is definitely a solid one. It will depend on how you will gear her. I mean, if you feel like her HP is really high, you're balancing HP and defense, she's got some solid defense, some very high effect resistance for PvP, then you don't have to worry about her getting chunked so hard. I mean, if they're not gonna land defense down on her, then you don't have to worry so much. So if you're investing a lot into effect resistance, then you can benefit much more from the defense stat, because defense percentage gear will have much higher value if you know you'll not be hit with a defense down from the enemy. So yeah. Okay, so other artifacts, I mean, there's Idol's Cheer, very solid artifact if you know she's gonna be able to survive. What's like, this artifact is so strong because, like, let's say she's the last one standing and like the arena lightning damage is stacking up, right? The enemy team's trying to kill you. I mean, that's on your defense, let's say. And she's gonna start getting combat readiness every time she get hit, like 20%, no matter how much she get hit. It's not like a Water's Origin. So this is very strong, but before that, it will boost the combat readiness of the ally with the highest attack. So basically, let's say you have her paired with the Dizzy. Dizzy has the higher attack, and it might allow Dizzy to cut in. She might cut between the enemies, like cleave or something of the sort, and she's gonna like totally mess up their stuff. So Idol's Cheer is very powerful. You can have like teams with double Soul Weaver both wearing Idol's Cheer, and it could be quite devastating. But every group composition will get countered anyways. So yeah, you cannot build a group that will have 100% success. I mean, in high league of the arena, this just doesn't happen. But you can make some pretty damn strong Guild War defenses that the enemy will have some really hard time with. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, so now for the artifacts, I did spend quite a bit of time on that. So you can also wear like Rod of Amaryllis. You can wear Candlestick to lower her cooldowns, especially like in PVE, if she's going to be tanking the front line, taking a lot of hits, because the AI hits the frontliner 40% of the time, no matter what. Candlestick could be very strong, especially since she also has low cooldown. She's going to be able to cycle through her skills very, very quickly. So that's a big plus right there. I mean, you could be wearing that in PvP as well, but I mean, when you've got Water's Origin, Idol's Cheer, it's going to be hard to go for Candlestick. But yeah, you'll have to test things out depending on your league in arena and your ranking, who you're facing in Guild Wars. So for the sets, the most I mean, here are the different sets that you could be running. I mean, you could run her on speed and resist. You could run her on speed HP, speed defense. You can run her on triple resist sets. Now I feel like triple resist is the better setup for PvP, but for PvE, if you're gonna do a mix of PvP and PvE on her, then like a setup like speed and a two-piece set, like let's say you don't think you're gonna get a lot of effect resistance early on, you can definitely run her on a speed immunity, just so like you really you don't get debuffed on turn 1 in PvP unless they dispel that. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different setups. I just feel that when you stack effect resistance, triple resist sets really shine, because you're getting 20% effect resistance versus 15% HP or defense for a Golem 2-piece set. So you get more value from the resist set as well. So you gotta keep that in mind. But I mean, if it's gonna be a 5% difference, it's gonna be I mean, it might not be too like that much for you. So you might just go with even like a triple HP set or a mix of HP and defense set. Really, you could go crazy, like different sets on her. You can even go broken sets. You just gotta hit those like breakpoints, whatever. Like, not really breakpoints, but you kind of want to like balance your stats and hit like those numbers where you feel comfortable where she's at in terms of stats. So now moving on to main stats. So for the necklace, you could be running HP percentage or defense percentage. I mean, there's multiple ways to build her, but since she scales off of her max HP, the better way would be health percentage on the necklace. I would use effect resistance ring, especially for PvP, but for PvE you could go some other way. You could go HP percentage, and for boots you could go defense percentage or speed. I mean, yeah, different ways to build her, but if you're gonna go very high effect resistance, might as well balance your HP and your defense. So it really depends. Like, if you're running Water's Origin, she's very tanky. You're able to have her trigger the combat readiness increase, and you're comfortable with the rest of your team that is not gonna be like instantly die, then you could go with like HP percentage necklace or defense like percentage, and then you use the other one. Like, you got HP on the necklace, and then you got defense on the boots, and the ring will be effect resistance. So it's or maybe you got some really crazy defense percentage on your substats, then you could go double HP percentage for the necklace and for the boots, and then for the ring you go effect resistance. But then maybe you want her to be more speedy, so you might go HP percentage neck, and for the ring effect resistance, and the boots is going to be speed. But I mean, you're going to be sacrificing survival for speed, so you will definitely have to think about that, and because yeah, that's the thing. But if you're comfortable with your effect resistance, they won't be landing defense down on you, then your survival will be so much higher. Okay, so stat priority for her, HP percentage, and then it'd be it depends though. It could be HP percentage first, and then defense percentage, and then effect resistance, and then speed. But it will depend if you're using her mostly for PvP or for PvE. Maybe you don't care too much about PvP, and you're mostly using her for PvE, because she can definitely shine there as well. But I would say, like, yeah, I'll talk about another setup, which is HP percentage first, and then it's effect resistance, and then it's defense percentage, and finally speed. But yeah, so best setups for her, I would say, like, for PvE and PvP, speed set with a 2-piece set, like resist, HP, defense, something of the sort, immunity would be best. And then for artifact, you'd have Water's Origin. Actually, for PV, Water's Origin with her in the front line, that's really cool, especially if you can make that trigger almost on every hit you're taking. Yeah, or I mean, for PvE, you have her in the front line with Idol's Cheer, that works as well. I mean, you could be using Rod of Amaryllis, can be using Candlestick. Like I said, Candlestick in PvE is very powerful. So there's that. Now for main stat, that's going to be for a build that is going to be viable for PvE and PvP first. For main stat, you'd go HP percentage on the necklace, the ring you'd go HP percentage, and the boots you go speed. For PvE content, you always like want to go with speed boots. Like pretty much all cases, be it a support, be it like a damage dealer, speed boots is usually the way to go. So yeah, keep that in mind. Now for priority on the stat priority, I would go with HP percentage first, and then it would be well, since it's going to be a balance of PvE and PvP, I would say, yeah, HP percentage first, and then you could even have like speed second, and then defense percentage, and then effect resistance. But that it's gonna be hard. Like you can't just like build Ruele perfectly for PvE and PvP. That's the thing. Like every hero's pretty much in the same boat. Now, if I would have to go for a like mainly a PvP setup for her, I would go triple resist sets, and for the stat priority, I would go HP percentage first, and then it would be effect resistance, and then defense percentage, and then speed. That's just like the way I would set mine up, right? And I mean, it depends on your league in PvP, but I mean, in Challenger, you might need like 150 effect resistance, even higher than that. In Champion, you might be looking easily around 200% effect resistance and even higher than that. So be mindful of that, because I mean the opponent's running a lot of effectiveness, so you've got to counter that if you don't want these debuffs to land on you, because they really disrupt your gameplay, and you don't want her to be slowed down and have her combat readiness like just taken away or reduced and stuff like that. So yeah, effect resistance is definitely a winner. And especially since she's got such a high amount of defense, then by having more effect resistance, by making sure you're not getting defense down debuff landing on you, then you can really balance your stats even more. You could trade some HP to increase your defense higher, and you will increase your effective HP, your effective health. That's the like total damage you need to take to actually die. So that will definitely increase your survival a lot. But keep in mind that heroes that penetrate defense will have a better, an easier time killing you. Watch your Shuri, I mean Dark Corvus. So yeah, I mean keep that in mind. They don't even need a debuff or anything on you, and they will take you out if your HP drops down too much. So yeah, but you can't counter everyone. That's the thing. So that's the thing. Now, yeah, for PvP, so that's the stat priority, I would say. And for artifact, you could definitely wear Water's Origin. You could be wearing Idol's Cheer, especially if you've got multiple limit break on Idol's Cheer. That gives it more value. So keep that in mind. And if you feel like you're gonna get chunked hard, you could even wear Proof of Valor on her to just have her survive as long as possible, so she can actually do something. But yeah. So yeah. Now, in like where she shines in the game, definitely PvP. PvP is insane with her. Mostly in Guild Wars, but also in Arena. You can go check the ranking. She's pretty much all over the place. And in Guild Wars, it's a 3v3 format, so she is stronger there, and it's easier to survive. And the fact that she can like top off any hero, almost not even a hero, but like a bruiser with a bunch of HP will not be topped off from very low HP to full with this thing. But still, like a squishy to even a hero with decent survival, decent HP will like go from like very low to topped off with this thing almost. And the barrier is gonna be there as well. The dispel first, that's massive. And then you've got the res or if you don't res, you're gonna dispel first and then like top their HP. If they are at 1 HP and you use this thing, they go back to full. Like if you have 20,000 HP, 30,000 HP, you're going back to full, and you're gonna have invincibility for 1 turn. That is massive. That is massive. And really, like, she's extremely dangerous when you pair her with, let's say in a comp for Guild Wars, you could have her with a bruiser. Like I like to use Fire Ken, and I bring Assassin Collie with in that comp. So I mean, it's very dangerous to deal with, and you can do stuff like that. Like you can pair her with bruisers, like 1, 2. And or you could bring a bruiser and a squishier hero, but you know that hero will hit really hard. Like in my case, it's Assassin Collie. So yeah, there's that. And if Assassin Collie dies, she's gonna get resurrected, gonna have invincibility. Like they won't have time to do anything. Like she's gonna go no matter what almost. So yeah. Very powerful on defense for Guild War, especially Arena as well for defense. Now for Guild War offense and Arena offense, Guild War offense you can definitely bring her, you can bait dark threats. Even like if there's no dark threats, like she's gonna take care of keeping your team healthy. And also for offense, you can definitely bring her, like she's gonna bring a lot of safety for you, and you can really try some risky things. And let's say you have your hero that's squishy but has high damage. Maybe you take one hero out, you get killed, but then she brings you back before the battle ends, and then maybe she brings the squishy hero on your team back when it's in a 3v2 scenario, and it's like, or you know that the other damage dealer will not be targeting whoever got killed on your side, stuff like that. Like you're super flexible with her, and she does help a lot to save your heroes, so you can actually use them for battles after. Now she can also be used in PVE very effectively. I mean, you can pretty much bring her everywhere. Even like in Wyvern, you can bring her. Let's say if you get her early game, she could be your like your main healer, like no problem. So there's that. And I mean, yeah, you could bring her in Golem as well, but I mean, she's not as powerful as a hero that fully clears all debuffs like an Akatis or Destina, let's say for PvP. She's not gonna clear debuffs off of everyone. But on one target she can do it, and she can do it twice with skill 2 and then skill 3. But she's amazing. She's amazing. You can bring her in the Abyss, of course. You can bring her in Labyrinth and Raid. I'm not sure about how much morale she actually gives to the team, but in Hall of Trials, you can definitely bring her. If you've got a hero that dies, she brings it back, and like solid sustain. Very good hero in Automaton Tower when they release hard mode. Definitely can be useful there. I mean, when we'll have World Raid later down the line potentially, and that's gonna be like, if it's like Summoner's Wars, I'm not even sure if it's called World Raid, but it's like 3 players, and then like you. Anyways, I feel like she's gonna be pretty solid there if we have something like that later on. But if you think about like future content, there's not so many heroes that can actually revive, and the way her mechanic works is insane. Like back to full with invincibility, 4-turn cooldown. I mean, for PvE content, Prophetic Candlestick is going to be huge, of course. And this like Prophetic Candlestick triggers, these two are on cooldown, and then this is like, it goes to a 3-turn cooldown, this goes down to a 2-turn cooldown. It's insane, insanely powerful. So she's not gonna like fully carry you in all content in PvE, because she's only a support, right? I mean, it depends on the rest of your team, but she's not a hero that you will only use in PvP. You can successfully use her in other areas of the game, and that gives her a lot more value than a hero that might be very niche, very specific, maybe only for Guild War offense, or like maybe only defense. You can definitely, like, yeah, even Arena offense you can bring her, and I mean, you can bring back a very high damage dealer after they take out a big threat on the enemy team. She brings safety, and there's a lot of team compositions that she can run with her on offense. So you just gotta check your roster and figure something out, figure what you're gonna bring. But I feel like I pretty much covered all I wanted to talk about, and she's definitely super good. She's definitely super good, and yeah, I wish I had her on other accounts, but yeah, I gotta gear her out. So good, so good. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon for like to be notified whenever I release a new video, and check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. Playlists of all sorts: Arena, Guild Wars, guides, tips, and how-tos, and Abyss Roy 62+. So check those out if you haven't. And also join my Discord server. The link is in the description. And let's just check her skills real quick. So skill 1. Same style as Destina. This thing is insanely powerful. Skill 2. And of course skill 3. That's like major. looks amazing as well. But yeah, if you do have her, have fun. She's great. And if you were not using her and you were sitting on her, you should definitely gear her out. And yeah. Alright, so that's really it for this one. Thanks again for watching. Peace out for now.